So let's talk about what happened yesterday's Premier League games. First game, Brighton vs Aston Villa ended 4-3 victory for Aston Villa. What a crazy game. I mean, Brighton were looking very good. They were winning 2-0. And from what I heard, if they had won this game, they would have been, I think, third position in the Premier League. So, you know, this game showed like how the difference is minimal, quite close between the two teams, Brighton and Aston Villa. Considering Aston Villa also before the game were fourth in the league. Brighton were winning 2-0, but then Aston Villa make a great comeback before half time, scoring two goals from Ollie Watkins, 2-2. And then in the second half, Aston Villa scored two more goals to get in the league, goals from Amadou Unana and Daniel Malin. But then Jan Paul Van Hickey pulls one back for Brighton, but still in the end, Aston Villa hold on to win 4-3. This was a crazy game. I mean, Aston Villa, I would say they deserve to win because they had more chances. They had the better chances. I think they had like 10 shots on target. Yeah. However, Brighton had some good chances as well. It was a crazy game. It was like a kamikaze game. Both attacking fantastically well and defensively not so good. But well done to Aston Villa. The congratulations for the win. And I mean, considering they've had a poor start to the season, Aston Villa, for them to be in this position and to be third in the Premier League, is incredible. And you have to give a lot of credit for Unai Emery and for Aston Villa because when they lost the Champions League position last season in a controversial way because of the game against Manchester United, and they didn't sign many players in the transfer window, and they had a difficult start to the season. You thought like, oh, okay, this is the end of the empire of Unai Emery at Aston Villa. But since then, I think they're out of the Carabao Cup as well. So, but since then, he's made an incredible comeback. He's made an incredible job, and he's never given up. The players never given up. The coach has never given up, and they're doing well in Europa League. They've won all of their games except against go ahead Eagles. But yeah, they're in a fantastic run of form. They're winning games comfortably, and they're looking very strong. I'll say you could even say with the way that they're performing right now, you could say they could even win the Europa League. And we all know how strong of a manager is Unai Emery at the Europa League. So yeah, but they're looking very strong. Can they finish in the top four? Well, it's difficult to say because let's not forget they had a difficult start, but they in an amazing run of form and they're winning so many games. However, they've got difficult games coming up. I think towards the end of December, and they've got a difficult game coming up actually against Arsenal at home. Because if you look at their next games in the Premier League, they've got Arsenal at home, West Ham away, Man United at home, Chelsea away, Arsenal away again, Arsenal again. It's those fixtures until the December 30th. If they can get through those fixtures in a safe way, and they're still like thereabouts in the top 4, top 5, I think they might have a good chance of qualifying for the Champions League next season. I just say that even though they're in a fantastic run of form, I'm just not sure are they going to finish in top 4 because still, it's a long season and they've got difficult games coming up. So that's why. But you have to give a lot of credit to Unai Emery and for Aston Villa, considering where they were at the start of the season, to make a comeback like this. Amazing. They deserve lots of credit. That's for sure. Let's move on to next game. Crystal Palace, Burnley against Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace win 1-0. Nottingham Forest beat Wolves 1-0. Another loss for Wolves. Another game without a goal for Wolves. I mean, since the new manager Edwards, that's 3 games, 3 losses, 0 goals scored. I mean, they're for sure guaranteed to go down. Wolves. Arsenal against. How many points did they picked? I don't think they even won a game this season. Yeah, they didn't win the game, and they 2 points. 2 games in 14. With the trajectory they're going on, they might even break the record of Derby County. I'm not even joking. So, yeah. Next game, Arsenal beat Brentford 2-0. 2 goals from Mikel Merino and Bukayo Saka, who I think this is his first goal I don't remember the last time he scored. But he scored. He got an assist in the last game though. But good win for Arsenal. They handled defensively. They were quite strong. They conceded 0 shots on target from Brentford. Defensively, they were quite strong. They defended quite well. They defended. They coped with all the possible strengths of Brentford. I'm not talking about obviously long throws, set pieces, etc. And when they had the chances, they took it. They were good. And Mikel Merino scoring again, Bukayo Saka scoring. So good win for Arsenal, 2-0, no problems, and they go 5 points clear out of Manchester City, and 9 points clear of Chelsea, because Chelsea they lost 3-1 to Leeds away from home. I mean, this is the same Leeds side that was like struggling, losing games. That was losing. I think they lost like 4 or 5 games in a row. However, they put a very good fight against Manchester City during the week. But before the game, I could sense that I'm actually not surprised that this happened, because I saw the press conference of Enzo Maresca before the game, and he said that Daniel Farke in all the game, he said something like 200 games or something, like Daniel Farke managed at Norwich, and he played with a back four. Whereas Leeds United, he always played with the back four, but at second half against Manchester City, he played with a back five. And obviously, Leeds in the second half against Man City were brilliant. And this time, he played with a 3-5-2. So you could say he played with a back five, back three-ish. So yeah, and it worked. And it works. I mean, Leeds United were very, very good defensively. They were quite strong. They coped with all the strengths of Chelsea. I mean, except the goal from Chelsea, and the other chance they had, which I remember, I don't remember which minute, but they had other chances as well. They had a lot of possession, Chelsea, but I don't think they created a lot of big chances, in my opinion. So I think you should give credit to Leeds, because they were happy to concede possession, but when they had the possession, they executed it. When I think Chelsea didn't do that. So, and you've got players like Xhaka, Bijol, Tanaka, Domo Calvert-Lewin scoring. So very good win for Leeds. Daniel Farke got his tactics spot on. He got his formation spot on, as Maresca kind of noticed it before the game. So yeah, well done to Leeds. I mean, it's a huge win considering they've had a poor run of form. Very good win, and they are out of the relegation zone, 3 points clear of West Ham. But West Ham still have a game to play, which is Man United away from home today, actually. So yeah. But as for Chelsea, I mean, Chelsea is such a weird team. They're such a weird team. I mean, this is what I'm telling you guys about Chelsea. I told you Chelsea about Chelsea before. That is that against the big teams, they can do amazingly well. They can beat anybody. They showed against Arsenal, even though with 10 men. They showed against Barcelona. They showed it against Liverpool. They can beat anybody. They showed it against PSG. They can beat everybody. When they are up for it, when they're on it, when they play against the big teams, they can beat anybody. But when they play against this kind of teams, Leeds United, Karabakh, Sunderland, they usually struggle. And why is that? Why they usually struggle against the small teams, against teams you'd expect Chelsea to win, but you do well against the Chelsea are a bit like a Robin Hood of the Premier League, where they take points of the rich and they give the points to the poor. But yeah, like this Chelsea side are very confusing. I mean, and this is the main reason why they're not going to challenge for the title. People keep telling me, oh, they're looking very strong. They're going to challenge for the title. No. Firstly, because they don't have a good defense. Sanchez has been better this season, but I still think he's not good enough. So I still think they need a new good goalkeeper. And also, they're an inexperienced side. So when you're an experienced side, you're going to have great games like against the big teams, and you're going to have bad games against teams you should win. And this is what have been happening with Chelsea. They do well against Arsenal, Barcelona, etc. But against Karabakh, against Sunderland, against Leeds, against... how many times they've went down to 10 men this season? Many times. So, yeah, it's not a surprise. It's a shock to many people. But to me, it's not a surprise, because Chelsea are not consistent and not as good as people think, because they're capable of having this kind of games again, as they should before. And if they want to win the Premier League, they're gonna have to nullify those weaknesses. They're gonna have to fix those weaknesses. Otherwise, they're gonna keep going like this. They need a good defense, a good goalkeeper, and they need to be consistent as a team, especially against the small teams. So, and you have to question also the mentality of the team as well. What is the mentality of Chelsea? Is that when they play against the big teams, they do really well, but small teams they don't do so well. Is their mentality different? Is their approach different? Is their level of motivation levels is different? What is it? There's got to be reason for it. So, yeah, and Enzo Maresca, he noticed that Leeds United will play with the back five before the game. So then, why you lose this in this way? Why you have so many possession and you do almost nothing except the goal? Why do you look like this, Enzo? So, yeah, bad defeat from Chelsea and not a great one at all. Liverpool drew 1-1 with Sunderland. I mean, Liverpool had a lot of possession, a lot of chances, but you have to give credit to Sunderland because they fought for their lives. I mean, they defensively they were so strong. They were happy to concede possession. They were close to winning the game. They defended fantastically well, and yeah, it was a. I mean, Sunderland, they should be happy that they got something from the game, because I think if they went on to lose the game, I think it would have been a shame, because the way that Sunderland played, the amount of effort they gave in for this game, I mean, absolutely fantastic. Defensively, they were so strong, and when they had chances going forward, they capitalized on everything they can. So, yeah, great point for Sunderland, and then they could have won it also, even though it's against a Liverpool side who are struggling. It's still a good point for Sunderland. So I have to give them a lot of credit. And by the way, the job that Lebris, Sunderland manager, has done is a phenomenal job, absolutely incredible job. And you look at the players that Sunderland have, defensively they're so strong. Ballard, Makiele, so fantastic players. Granit Xhaka with the great experience he has in the Premier League, and also the quality player that he is. They've got quality midfielders, quality defence. They've got a very, very good team, very good functional team, good defensively, and they're good also in handling set pieces, and they can make games physical, like they did against Arsenal, where they can make games physical and they make it tough and play long balls, and they managed to get a point in the end. So in this game they coped with it. Obviously, playing against Arsenal and Liverpool is different, because Liverpool like to attack and intensity is different, etc. So, compared to Arsenal, but I think Arsenal adapted to this game fantastically well. So you have to give them a lot of credit. For Liverpool, Arne Slot dropped Mo Salah again. Understandably why, because he's not been in a good run of form, and they look good against West Ham without Salah, even though it's against West Ham who are struggling. But this time it didn't work. He brought in Salah though, and Liverpool. I mean, Verse scoring, that's given, that goal is going to give him confidence going forward. So pleased for him to score, even though it was rewarded at the end. An own goal for Nordi Mukiele. It's just such a shame. But this kind of moment is going to give confidence for Verts going forward. But for Liverpool, I mean, again, the drop points again. I mean, this is where Liverpool are really. It's again that they should really win at home to Sunderland, even though Sunderland are a very good team. And they end up dropping points. I mean, this is where Liverpool are this season. So I'm not surprised. And obviously Arne Slot was complaining a lot about the set pieces after the game, etc. But you're playing against Sunderland. You should have known that they use this kind of tactics before. They did that against Arsenal, so don't be so surprised. But yeah, Liverpool dropped points yet again. And finally, Real Madrid back to winning ways after beating Athletic Bilbao 3-0. 2 goals from Kylian Mbappe, who again is in an amazing run of form. I think he's scored like 25 or 20 goals this season so far in all competitions. He's been an absolute man on missions this season. Camavinga with the goal as well. And yeah, Real Madrid looked better in these games. Defensively, still some deficiencies there, but going forward, they were fantastic. Clean sheet, good win against a good Athletic Bilbao side, so that's for sure is going to give. That's a relief for Xabi Alonso as going forward to avoid that run of games without winning. So very good win for Real Madrid and a very important win for Xabi Alonso, as they also go 1 point behind Barcelona. That's it, guys. Thank you. I wish you have a nice day. See you next time, and goodbye.